Good afternoon, my people. How you doing? Welcome to another episode of Coach Carvel Bailey's Lunch and Learn. I am your host. I am your lead teacher, Coach Carvel Bailey, and you don't want to miss this one. We're going to talk about this whole transfer portal. Yet again, it seems like we was just here last year, 2 years before that, but we're going to dig into it again. All right. Make sure that you come right back and get this message. All right? Peace.
Yo, just so you understand it, this is Coach Carvel Bailey's program with the spirit of Bob Hambry. This is Blessed of All, helping athletes, and we represent. Study your craft, your mentality leads to excellence. It's all about your mindset. We'll never stop addressing this, so be positive and not a pessimist. Confidence took James Harden higher. If you really want it, it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard as carbon fiber, but we got you. From counseling to workshops, we do it. You'll go farther with a scholarship. We'll help you get recruited. Yo, anyone can dribble and shoot, but it's the ones who study basketball internally that make it to Duke University. Knowledge goes around. The game is played from the neck up and not from the shoulders down. This is Blessed to Ball, helping you with obstacles. The athletes are the rocket. Blessed to Ball is the rocket fuel. If you hit a wall, we can help you slowly climb it. So keep a Mamba mentality like Kobe Bryant. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team. It's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Use your mentality to master the craft. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Yo, Coach Carvel Bailey. Hey, listen to your coach, man. He ain't no scrub off the street. That man got credentials, academic and street. Believe it, and my name is Strategic.
All right, good afternoon. Good afternoon. How y'all doing? Again, Coach Carvel Bailey. I want to welcome you for joining us. All right, we got my Facebook, my YouTube right here. We got my Instagram right here. What up, IG? And then we got Podcast Land right back there. So listen, here we go again. It seems as though we're right back here again. March, not March Madness, but we're right back here again with transfer portal. So now everybody, right? I've seen all up and down my timeline. Everybody's talking about it. Hey, the transfer portal, transfer portal. Well, I have a couple comments that I want to make about this transfer portal, but here's my question. At what point are we going to wake up and realize that we're on a hamster wheel? And here's what I mean by that, right? When are we going to wake up and realize that we're on a hamster wheel, right? Shout out to Malcolm X, right? Again, 26-6, all-time record, 26-6. I represent, right? Receipts. These are all receipts, all right? Plus, it's kind of cold here in Chicago, so I needed a nice sweater, all right, with a hoodie on, all right? But transfer portal. We've been going through this over and over and over again. In the springtime, we get coaches saying, hey, come play for me. Come get on this circuit. Come and right, do all this traveling. Come and spend all this money, right? Let's go to all these hotels. Let's have your kid come play a weekend of basketball, and they may only get 45 minutes on the court the entire weekend, right? Now, all in the name of exposure. Come play here so you can get this exposure. We're going on this circuit so that we can get this exposure. We're going in these tournaments to get this exposure. But then we're finding out that, come March, the transfer portal is probably going to hinder your decisions. You haven't gotten a lot of offers because the transfer portal. They said 173 students hit the transfer portal in the first hour yesterday when the portal opened. I literally saw like 4 and 5 athletes from a team, one team, entering the portal. So everybody's talking about now, seeing March, they talk about the transfer portal is going to hurt your athlete. But in April, May, June, July, they're talking about that you need to be on this circuit to get exposure. So they're telling you get exposure, but then they come back 11 months later and say, because of the number of athletes that's hit the transfer portal, it's going to affect your athlete. So how long are we going to be on this hamster wheel? The main thing, right? And now I'm going to pull my trump card, and I don't do this. I'm going to pull my trump card. I've sat in that seat. I've sat in that first seat. I've been a head coach at 2 colleges, and I hold all-time records at both. So I've been a head college coach. So I'm going to pull that card. I normally don't pull that card. I know what college coaches are looking for. I know what college coaches are not looking for. So because in my 30 years of experience, I know what college coaches are looking for. I've recruited players, JUCO. I've sent players, Division I. I've sent players, Division II. I've sent players, NAIA. You're listening to a former head college coach here. So I understand what's necessary. The number one thing that's necessary is character. Ain't nobody gonna tell y'all that. The number one thing that's necessary, and I'm gonna just give you 3. The number one thing that's necessary is character. And character is all wrapped up in the athlete's attitude. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can talk about the dude from Alabama, right? He puts in buckets. But any NBA team that's recruiting him, scouting him, right? Any of those teams that think that it's a character flaw, his stock gonna go down. Well, it's the same thing for your athlete. If your athlete has a bad attitude, or if they're perceived to have poor character, their stock is going to drop. So character is the number one thing, because guess what? Coaches not going to intentionally lose their job because this athlete can score buckets. Ain't no coach going to do that. Character, most important. The second thing that's most important to a coach is how cerebral is your athlete. How cerebral is your athlete? So now the mind comes into play. And how cerebral is your athlete mind? That goes to the academics. Does your athlete know how to run a play? Does your athlete know how to complete an assignment? Does your athletes know? Can y'all hear me now, IG? They said they couldn't hear me. Can y'all hear me now, IG? I just want to make sure. Just drop a 1 if you can hear me. Somebody, IG, if you can hear me. So I'm gonna go back so that IG can hear me. The thing that's most important from a coach's standpoint is the athlete's character, and their character is molded in their attitude. The second thing that's most important, right, or if we're stacking things that are important, character. Coach not gonna get fired because your athlete is a bad person. All right. The second thing, go out and come back in to see if you can hear me. The next thing is how cerebral is your athlete? Can your athlete pass a class? Can your athlete run a play? Can your athlete follow directions? All of those things are necessary because on that next level, coaches are going to give instructions and they're probably going to only give them one time. And now if your athlete isn't cerebral enough to take notes, to ask questions, they're going to be lost. And coaches on the college level don't have time. They don't have time to introduce. I'm going to say that again. Coaches on the college level don't have time to introduce. And if they're introducing something, they're going to introduce it at the start of practice and it's going to be immediately put in. When I was introducing plays, I introduced the play at the start of practice for about 10 minutes, and my athletes have to pick up on it or they're not going to get as many reps of those plays. And if they don't get as many reps of those plays, when it's time to run that play and they don't understand it, they won't get in the game. Does that make sense? So how cerebral is your athlete? And that goes into the academics. Can they learn? Can they learn and perform what they're learning? And then the third thing is skill development, right? The third thing is skill development. And here's where skill development really, really plays a part. We're talking physical skill development. We're talking mental skill development, emotional skill development, spiritual skill development, social skill development, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, social development. Is your athlete being developed into the person that they need to be to play at this level? See, because you can pay all your money as a parent and go to all these different showcases, all these different events, all these different competitions, but you're going to land where you're at. Your athlete will land where they're at. They will land where their character takes them and where their character is a match. So if your athlete is part of a chaotic program, it's probably because their character exhibited that, or your character exhibited the chaoticness. So you attracted who you are. Does that make sense? So therefore, athletes shouldn't be big timing. That's what we called it. Oh, you big timing us. You don't want to talk to us. You waiting on Coach K to call you. All right. Well, it's August. Coach K ain't called. Oh, now you're coming back to me. But the three biggest things, the three biggest misconceptions is as long as you can put the ball in the basket and you get on the circuit and some coach going to see you and they're going to come offer you a scholarship that day. It doesn't work like that. Coaches are looking to build relationships and coaches are looking to fill puzzle pieces. Coaches are putting puzzles together. So we talk about skill development, right? Everybody's talking about Ja Morant. Ja Morant now, right? Memphis Grizzlies needs a vet. Well, people talk about Udonis Haslem, been playing with Miami forever. Won championships, right? Florida, UD champion, all that. Well, understand this. Udonis Haslem, because he has social skills, right? He has, right, mental development, physical development to even be to play and practice and keep up with those guys. But spiritual, emotional, because he understands all those things, he's somebody that's good for the locker room. Does that make sense? He's hanging around. Udonis Haslem ain't played a game in about 2 years. But his job is because he has good character, he's cerebral, and he has great skills. So when coaches are looking to plug holes, we can plug Udonis Haslem into this hole because we need a leader. We need a leader in the locker room. All coaches don't need scorers. All coaches don't need rebounders. Now, everybody must defend. They must defend. But I don't need everybody to be able to score. I don't need everybody to be able to rebound. But what can you do to where now I can say that's the person I need to fill this puzzle piece? See, athletes are just going out here shooting dice and hoping that they hit a 7. But most times they snake eye, they crap out. They AC doocy, they crap out. Because they're just throwing dice. And they're hoping to get their number called. Well, those people are hunting for opportunities. And those are the same people that get disappointed when the transfer portal goes up and then they say, oh, it's affecting me. And even those athletes in the transfer portal, they didn't pick the right fit for them. They probably picked what they attracted. But you want your athlete to go from hunter to hunted. How do they go from hunter to hunted? By having high character, by being very cerebral, and by improving their skills, skill development. Because now when the coach says, that's what I need on my team, that piece. Oh yeah, they can do all of that, but we don't need all of that right now because we got an All-American. So we don't need that right now. What we need this year is we need somebody that can dive on the floor, take charges, get 50-50 balls, have a good attitude, that's a great teammate. That's the person we need to plug in. I'm telling you what coaches are looking for, because I've done it. It's a difference. Coaches like, yeah, man, I met this coach. I know this coach. I got this phone number. I'm going to be honest. Half the people that's telling you that they can get your athlete in schools, they probably, right, they go to these events and they get cards. And they get cards. And they get cards. Or they pass out cards. And they say, hey, because the team name that we have, every coach is going to want to talk to us. So then they're calling these coaches, but they don't have relationships with these coaches. And here's the bonus. And then I got to go because I got a good lunch over here. Here's the bonus. Most coaches don't like recruitable kids. Most coaches don't like recruitable kids. Most coaches would rather have athletes that are placed with them and not athletes that they have to go out and recruit. Now, again, ain't nobody going to tell you that if they not a head coach, because they don't know what happens with recruitable kids. They go in the portal. Recruitable kids go in the portal because there was no real relationship started. So recruitable kids go in the portal. Placed kids are generally the ones that last out because they're placed with a particular program that's a good fit for them. But coaches just recruiting kids, they're recruiting kids based on production, numbers. What do they see? That's why most athletes don't get a scholarship offer right then, that game, on the circuit, whatever. They're looking to build relationships. Hey, I like what I saw today. Let's stay in contact. They ain't just coming in saying, ooh, I like what I saw. I'm going to give you a scholarship. You might be crazy as hell. Your athlete may be crazy as hell. And they're not going to lose their job because your athlete can dunk on somebody. They're going to start to build a relationship with them. And is your athlete, do they have the skills mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, and spiritually to be able to engage in that conversation, to be able to hold that conversation, to be able to build, establish that relationship? Because coaches are looking for puzzle pieces. And they're looking for people with amazing skills, and that's coachable, people that are cerebral, that can think with their minds, and people of high character. And the sooner we understand that, DB, you get it, right? The sooner we understand that, the better it'll be for everybody. Because the portal ain't going nowhere, and guess what? As the bell rings, the portal ain't nothing new. Coaches been getting transfer athletes since the beginning of time. They've been getting transfer athletes since the beginning of time. So ain't nothing changed. It's just now it's another buzzword that people use. Just another buzzword people use. I've been around since they called it counseling, since they called it mentoring, they called it life skills. I've been around all that. Now it's SEL, right? It's just a different name. This portal is just a different name. It's been going around forever. So for my people on IG, right? Reason why the transfer portal is hurting your athlete. I want you to go to my YouTube page and watch this video. To everybody here, right? Here's the link. I want you to go watch this video. And again, I don't normally pull cards, but I'm gonna pull my card. You're talking to a former head college coach with 30 years coaching experience. I don't normally pull my card, but I'm gonna pull it today because the lack of your listening or the lack of people listening is causing them confusion and chaos when it don't need to be. Listen to somebody that's been there, that's done it, that's telling you exactly what's happening and what's expected. All right? So be sure to go check out that video. IG, again, go to my YouTube page. Reasons why the transfer portal is hurting your athlete. Facebook, YouTube, reasons why the transfer portal is hurting your athlete. Go check out that video and it'll make a little bit more sense to you. I assure you it'll make a little bit more sense. All right? So with that being said, I got to go. My class coming back in and I don't want to snap on them because they're getting too loud. So I'm going to help them help me. All right? And I got to roll. All right? So until next time, I'll holler at y'all a little bit later on. Peace.
Yo, just so you understand it, this is Coach Carvel Bailey's program with the spirit of Bob Hambry. This is Blessed to Ball, helping athletes, and we represent. Study your craft, your mentality leads to excellence. It's all about your mindset. We'll never stop addressing this, so be positive and not a pessimist. Confidence took James Harden higher. If you really want it, it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard as carbon fiber, but we got you. From counseling to workshops, we do it. You'll go farther with a scholarship. We'll help you get recruited. Yo, anyone can dribble and shoot, but it's the ones who study basketball internally that make it to Duke University. Knowledge goes around. The game is played from the neck up and not from the shoulders down. This is Blessed to Ball, helping you with obstacles. The athletes are the rocket. Blessed to Ball is the rocket fuel. If you hit a wall, we can help you slowly climb it. So keep a Mamba mentality like Kobe Bryant. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team, it's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Yo, Coach Carvel Bailey. Hey, listen to your coach, man. He ain't no scrub off the street. That man got credentials, academic and street. Believe it, and my name is Strategic.
I'm doing well.